ॐ नीलाम्बुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीतासमारोपितवामभागं पाणौ महासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas, Ayodhya Kand, and we are in verse number 217. In the storyline, the context is Bharata with all the people from Ayodhya and Chaturangani Sena. The whole army also had gone along with Bharata. It's a project of meeting Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, who are in the forest, and coronating them, bringing them back to Ayodhya. That's their project in a storyline. From philosophical point of view, what is being brought before your view is the role of Bharata. Bharata is bhakti personified. So, how does devotion, bhakti, create a tremendous transformation in one's personality? And the whole project of attaining God realization that requires integration of your personality. This whole integration movement becomes accelerated by bhakti, devotion to God. In a storyline, Bharata spent whole night in the ashram Bharadwaj, receiving sage Bharadwaj's hospitality. His hospitality was another allegorical presentation of all powers, riddhis and siddhis. They were all presented before all those who were going to Rama. People handled them according to their states of spiritual evolution. Bharata was completely detached. He was not at all touched by all the luxury presented by sage Bharadwaj. After spending the night, now Bharata, along with all party, being led by Guha Nishad. Guha Nishad, I've explained to you, is friend of Rama. And in a mystic way, bhakti movement becomes profoundly enriched by Maitri Bhavana. Maitri Bhavana, literally translated as friendly attitude. The Sanskrit word mitra. Tra relates to three states of your consciousness. When you dream, there is a triad: dream subject, objects of the dream, interacting experience. That's three. Similarly, you are day-to-day living your life, and you are trapped in the same illusion of the three. And all the three become the source of pain for you. Subjective, look into subjective personality, you have a lot of troubles. Fortunately, you don't know all about it. Objective, The whole world is filled with trouble. An act of God, how shocking things happen, sudden storms, hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes. And all these three are unfriendly. But when you begin to understand that you are being led by God, not by your ego, then God is operating in all the three ways lovingly to lead your soul to enlightenment. So that is the climax of the Maitri movement. But you begin with the word that Mitra. Me, what me term is just a sense of delight, Rama, Ma. That delight movement is trapped by three doshas, three defects. But Maitri Bhavana corrects it. All the three defects, you begin to understand they are nothing opposed to your soul. The entire God's plan is meant to lead your soul to enlightenment. But this profound understanding is not one day's job. You listen in one day, maybe in few minutes. But for practice and experiencing it, it is a progressive movement. Depending upon your level of evolution, how quickly you progress in it, that depends. But as you succeed in sadhana, that means you are succeeding in surrendering to God. And as you surrender to God, you don't hold on all your anxiety and troubles in your own head under the care of ego. But rather, you keep this door containing all this jhanjamanj, all the turmoil, and you are being led by God. Again, I'm telling very quickly, but that's the way subtle movement of internal relaxation with a sense of joy begins to develop in your life. When you go to sleep, you never have that mental worry. What will happen to the world? You are going to lose everything in sleep. But instinctively, you don't care. Rather, you eagerly long for going to deep sleep. Now, try to gain lessons from it. While daily, by instinctive nature, you move away from your ego, move away from the entire world, and you are not in any way at a loss, but rather you are deeply fulfilled. So Maitri Bhavana takes the three away, leading you to that state of peace that can be compared to having deep sleep. That state of peace becomes possible in your deeper level, in your heart level. Deepest experiences are not expressed in your body. Even in practical reality, a family is having a some dear one's marriage celebration. Parents and all near and dear ones become so active. You look at them, they are extremely busy, perspiring, jumping around, going to this place and that place. But they are all celebrating Utsav. So that part has to be understood. In other words, how do you appear in the external world? That does not give you a complete idea of what you are at your heart level. External world may seem you are very busy, you are constantly moving from one thing to another, facing many challenges. Internally, you are enjoying a divine Utsava, communion with God, coming, going, moving towards God. The idea of being led by Supreme Beloved, God. Having given this introduction, let me go on with the Ramayana, verse number 217. Ramu sakochi prema bas Bharat sapem payodhi Bani baat begaran chahati Kariye jatanu jalu chalu sodhi. The context at this stage is when Indra and gods, they are always watching over everyone. You don't see them, but they are watching. And when they saw Bharata has such a dominating personality and he is bent upon bringing Rama, they were shocked because the project before the gods was that Lord Vishnu will incarnate as a Rama for this purpose of destroying Ravana. And now, if Bharata takes Rama away, Ravana cannot be destroyed. So, Indra began to plan to do something to interrupt Bharata's meeting with Rama. And he presented this idea to his guru, Brihaspati. Brihaspati scolded him that a devotional movement, a devotee, no matter how imperfect he may be in the beginning, he cannot interrupt divine plan. Rather, devotee is one who allows the divine plan to succeed as speedily as possible. And divine plan of Rama was to destroy Ravana. So even though it appears that Bharata with all his love has such power, nobody can oppose his love. And that Rama may suddenly agree to Bharata to go back to Ayodhya. That will not happen. Ram sakochi prem bas Bharat sapem payodhi. And that's what Indra is telling Brihaspati. Rama is humble. And he is overpowered by love of the devotee. And Bharata is the ocean of love. The love that is experienced by a devotee has no limit. So ultimately, it is presented as ocean. Now, all that we have arranged for Ravana's destruction, all is going to be in turmoil. Rang mein bhang. So, O sage, let's adopt some foxy conspiracy to deceive Bharata, to interrupt his going to Rama. Bachan sunat sur guru muskane, sahas nayan bin lochan jane. Hearing these words of Indra, sage Brihaspati smiled. He understood that though Indra possesses 1,000 eyes, in reality, he lacks real vision. Many storylines are there. Indra is presented as having 1,000 eyes. The whole body of Indra is looking for pleasure. It's called Bhog Drishti. Bhog Drishti, allegorically, has 1,000 eyes. You want to have pleasure in the world, you go after thousands of things in this world. One set of your eyes were fulfilled in one, but there you have another set of eyes. You have thousands. You can't fulfill all. So that's Indra's role as bhoga, enjoyment. But Bhakta's drishti is prema drishti. Vision that is directed towards supreme love, that's God. And that prema drishti has only one eye, not even a set of eyes. So one-eyed. Cockroach would be. Later we will have the story of crow sage. He is described as a crow, possessing only one eye that the crow moves in two areas. So that's the difference between bhoga drishti, prema drishti. You can call it bhoga drishti and jnana drishti. Bhoga drishti, world of multiplicity. Jnana drishti, Brahman alone. Who has bhoga drishti? That which provides all enjoyment. The source of all enjoyments is seat of astral pleasure that described as Swarga, Indraloka. And if you are not tempted by Indraloka, then the same Indra allows you to move. And so Brihaspati smiled within himself. Also the role of Brihaspati means role of Guru. Your mind is being drawn by bhoga, enjoyment. And you develop virtuous qualities for securing pleasure in the world. That stage is corrected when bhakti enters your heart. You develop virtuous qualities not to stay in the world of Indra for bhoga, enjoyment. You practice virtuous qualities for going beyond bhoga. Virtuous qualities that pave the path to liberation. Try to understand virtue in two stages. Being good, you always find, look into all the tricky personalities. Many times they are so good and so tender. But they are worst in their scheme. So that's the subtle difference And that has to be understood in your deeper level. You must realize there are two stages in your personality. Stage of understanding. That must go on. But understanding goes on. It doesn't make a big change in your external. External takes its own course. And external will not contradict your internal if you are mature. Coming back to the storyline, Brihaspati thought within himself that this Indra is trying to deceive Bharata, who is servant of Rama, the Lord of all Maya, who is Rama's devotee. The power of devotion, Indra doesn't understand. And he wants to exercise his power over Bharata. Anyone who tries to deceive a devotee, a tremendous negative movement goes after that person. जब किछु कीन्ह राम रुख जानी, अब कुचाल करी होई हानि. Indra had done many things before, but all that he had done was according to the will of Rama. And for the sake of Rama's going after Ravana, and all that has many stories, how when three demons, Ravana, Kumbhakarna and Vibhishana began to practice meditation. It was Indra who complained. It was Saraswati was sent. Who changed the attitude of Kumbhakarna, dominated his tongue. So instead of asking for Indrasan, may I rule over Indra, he asked for Nindrasan. May I stay sleeping. So that was trick adopted by Indra. So many of his tricks were good, but this trick that he's going to adopt against Bharata, that's not good. That will be terrible. It will spoil the God's mission. Sunu suresh raghunath subhau, nija paradhasri sahina kau. A very simple moral behind also is there. If your mind is filled with interest, love for pleasure, your mind can be cured by guidance under proper guru. So Brihaspati guides Indra. Same Indra begins to understand after the guidance he receives. Here is a great statement. Brihaspati says to Indra, O Lord of gods, Devraj, listen to Rama's nature. Rama never holds grudge against the negative deeds done by his devotee. No matter how many negative deeds you might have done, once you have developed devotion, all your negative deeds move away. They are as if forgotten. As if God forgives them all. Also, you have to understand simple psychology. You live in your life facing many challenges. But when you come to a healthy state, say for example in all your childhood days, You suffered from many challenges. And you didn't have brain enough to even recognize your challenges. You always appeared cute. Not always, but you grow up, thousands of negative things you did as a child. Who remembers them? They are simply moved away from you. Who did it? In divine plan. So therefore, as you begin to evolve in a spiritual way, you do not hold on to all the negative karmas you have done. You don't hold on to those records. And why did you do them, etc. Nothing. They are as if they never happened. Understand also, in divine plan, every individual soul has gone through countless negative deeds in different lives. But all those deeds and their memories are taken away from your mind in the present life. Because they don't have any substance. Jo aparadh bhagat kar karai, Ram rosha pavak so jarai. Now, God forgives all faults. That's again allegorical. But anyone who harms a devotee, does any act of hurting his devotee, then Rama loves his devotee so much that he will not forgive those who strike against his devotee. Those people who are inimical to his devotee, they burn in the fire of Rama's wrath. And this point has been highlighted in the Vedas as well as Itihasas like Ramayana, Mahabharata. And sage Durvasa knows about it. The story of Durvasas, these points have been brought out. Durvasa seems to curse a person. So what appears like a big curse, in course of time it becomes a boon. Bharat saris ko Ram sanehi, Jagu jap Ram, Ram jap jehi. Rama is worshipped by entire world. But same Rama constantly adores Bharata. Who can be devotee of Rama as Bharata? Bharata again is symbolic of ideal devotee as well as personification of the path of devotion. And its allegorical description comes in the scriptures for easy understanding. Sun shines over all the buckets have water in them. But reflected suns, they are in different conditions. Reflected suns continue to shake in the water. And the sun that is shining over them doesn't take care, but looks at them with equal vision. I am there in that pot, I am there in that pot, I am there in the pot. I am in all pots. God is in all. But still, in every pot, the soul is shaking. As if Rama is not caring. But where water has become clear, by the development of devotion, mind has become purified. Love for God, this reflected sun, the soul, has come to understand that it is being loved by God. And its Godward movement will bring in absolute fulfillment of looking for love. To love and be loved, both are fulfilled. And that happens only in that pot where the water is pure. Allegorically, the sun has become partial. So that's the partiality of God. Manata sukha sevaka sevakai. Sevaka bair bairu adhikai. Whoever serves Rama, such a person called Sevak, servant of Rama. And whoever becomes inimical to servant of Rama, becomes as if Rama's enemy. Rama doesn't have the attitude of love towards him. Allegorical. Allegorical simply means that it is the worst sin. Jadyapi sam nahi raga naroshu, gahina papa punu guna doshu. Though Rama has equal vision, no raga, no attachment, no hatred. And he is untouched by karmas of people and their fruits of karmas. In spite of that, it is God who has given importance to the law of karma. Everyone experiences pleasure and pain led by the law of karma. Who rules over it? Ishwar, God. And while doing all that, God is completely untouched. Neither does he feel joyous when a negative person has been punished, nor God feels especially happy when a person receives the fruit of his virtuous karma. For easy understanding, God is like the sky. Clouds play their role, they have their own law. And the sky maintains the laws that the clouds have in their state. But the sky remains untouched, untainted. Tadapi karahi sama vishama vihara. Continuing to highlight how God's role begins to express in a special way in a devotee. And remember the Gita's statement, same God who doesn't simply let soul go into their own karmas. In that level, God is simply the ruler. He sees that not a single negative karma is forgotten. God maintains the complete law in perfect precision. But when it comes to a devotee, he forgets about all the mathematics. तदपि कनहि सम विषम विहारा भगत अभगत हृदय अनुसारा. So, one type of treatment is done to abhakt, those who are not devotees, those who are simply being led by their karmas. But those who are being led by their devotion, God has a totally different attitude towards them. And I was quoting you. Gita says, first stage, upadrashta. God is overseeing you. That in itself gives a tremendous relaxation to your mind. You are not just left out in a chaotic world. There isn't a place, there isn't a situation where God's presence is not there. And He is constantly watching over you, just like a mother watches over a baby. Baby doesn't know all about the mother, but mother is watching over the baby. Apadrashta numantacha. Next point, you begin to be inspired by God. The role of inspiration. You do your sadhana. You don't have any idea what job you should take, which course you should adopt. But you are not helpless. Unawares, God has already created a situation. And suddenly comes a shocking letter. I'm joking. Of good news. The problem that was haunting your mind has been solved beyond your imagination. And you flow through. You adopt a different course led by God's Anumanta. He has agreed. He is encouraging you to do what you are doing. And when you begin to experience this, Upadrashtanumantacha Bharta, now God becomes your beloved Lord. God becomes your master, your boss. I'm using these words, are very bad words. But it is a loving set. So even though you are not very careful, you have forgotten what to do and not to do, you are lapsing into negative stage. But you are now guided by the beloved Lord. So, you know deep in yourself that you cannot go wrong. Because you are being guided by the Bharta, beloved Lord. Upadrashtanumantacha Bharta Bhokta. Next, come to another stage, that all that you live, not for your enjoyment. You are simply a channel. You are a spoon. Who is enjoying it? Is God only is enjoying. And next to realize, you are not separate from God. The Maheshwara, God alone exists. So this is a bhakti movement. As jiye jani tajahu kutilai, karahu bharata pad priti suhai. So Brihaspati says to Indra, knowing this, what the attitude God has for His devotee, give up this crooked scheme and turn your mind to the beautiful feet of Bharata, the feet that has become gracious, source of all spiritual attraction. Ram Bhagat par hit nirat, par dukh dukhi dayal, Bhagat siromani bharatate, jani darapahu surapal. O Indra, devotee of Rama is ever intent upon doing good to all. Not just intent, ever active in doing good to all. They view others' pain like it is their own pain, and they are kind. And Bharata is crushed jewel among devotees. So do not be frightened by Bharata's plan to meet Rama. Satya Sandha Prabhu Surayit Kari, Bharata Rama Ayasa Anusari. Sri Rama, Satya Pratigya. He follows the path of truth in an unshakable manner. This Rama movement is Jnana movement that cannot permit any illusion. And he is the doer of good to all gods. Doing good to all gods, again you have to understand more in a mature way. Gods are not separate beings somewhere, they are constantly needing help. Their role is allegorical. Gods are spirits of virtues. Spirits of virtues, if they are under the domination of ignorance, they are not being, they are moving away from what is good to them. So gods are being hurt by ignorance and its forces. Your virtues are being hurt by your ignorance. Those virtues are gods. And ignorance is the demon, Kansa or Ravana, going after gods, and gods are always terrified. You are not here to listen to all those stories. Can simply say, what have I to do with it? But there is subtle point behind it. Allegorical stories. And what is best for gods? When your virtues pave the way for liberation. When virtues are paving the way for your bondage, then gods are being hurt. They are putting under, being tortured. When virtues are able to promote nivritti, the path leading to liberation, when virtues are opening the door to your vairagya, viveka, an aspiration for liberation, then your virtue is a real virtue. And that shift comes in a subtle manner. You do not really know what I am doing, virtuous deed. Is it serving in Ravana or is it pleasing Rama? But your personality has deeper level of sensitivity. What is good? Whatever you do with sincerity, it is recorded in your unconscious. You are developing an internal spiritual potency. So even though you are not consciously separating, now this virtue I am doing is not sakamya, it is niskamya. You don't put your finger on it. If you do that, it will be always wrong because you are speaking the language of your ego. But in your heart level, subtle movement of purity goes on. In your conscious mind, you don't have to understand it. All that you have to do is to have faith, Shraddha, and continue doing it. But even while you don't understand it, a divine grace begins to create internal confidence and a strength. So even though you don't understand, you find an internal strength allowing you to face challenges and emerge stronger than before. I've gone on with that. With this, we stop. Om Ram 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 Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of divine grace, Karunamaya Ras, over all who are now in the state of terror. And may that healing grace inspire every soul to go after the real virus, the source of all fear. And that's ignorance. Attain enlightenment. Sabko sanmati de Bhagavan. May that understanding enter the heart of all. That's the best, the greatest blessing and the greatest remedy. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukbhag Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.